Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Jail Association's 40th Annual Conference and Jail Expo and our annual business meeting and swearing in. I am Chris Daniels, Executive Director. Thank you for joining us. It's my pleasure to introduce you to AJA's Executive Committee. These dedicated and innovative leaders so unselfishly contribute their time and talent for the betterment of the association and our membership. Please stand as I call your name. Secretary Sam Davis. Third Vice President, Sean Laughlin. Second Vice President, Louis Quiones. First Vice President, Darren Seeger. President-elect, Amanda Lambert. President, Marcia Travis. And we are also joined virtually by Treasurer Eddie Lance and immediate past President, Elias Diggins. Please give them a round of applause for all of their hard work on behalf of AJA and our members. Thanks, y'all may be seated. As you know, AJA is the only national association that focuses exclusively on local correctional facilities. We have been at the forefront of advancing jail operations and giving jails a voice at the national level for more than 40 years. Because of the contributions of our members, AJA is able to offer exceptional professional development and networking opportunities. In fact, AJA is highly regarded and sought after for the outstanding training and education it provides. We are also offering professional certifications that create a pathway for career advancement for those who are both new to corrections and those in leadership positions. Through our meetings, publications, and online community, iConnect, we provide a forum for sharing of resources and expertise. We also publish American Jails magazine that is distributed to every jail in America. Last year, we launched AJA Digital Resource Library, which is hosted by Power DMS, a searchable online repository for jail operations and management. When I stepped into my role as Executive Director in September, we were hopeful that this year's conference would be held in person, but it became clear with time that that wasn't going to be possible. Our conference is the premier meeting for jail professionals who come together and exchange ideas and strategies about the challenges they confront in their day-to-day operations at our conference. That exchange is critically important, especially in unparalleled times. Both the AJA staff and our leadership rose to the occasion and were extremely resourceful and creative in developing a virtual conference that far surpasses anything imaginable even a year ago. The virtual platform we've selected will provide you with easy access to our workshops for a full year after the conference. It also offers video chats and other innovative features to facilitate networking and interactions with our exhibitors. This year, AJA is celebrating 40 years of service. I want to thank our board of directors and AJA's past presidents who have provided leadership for our organization for over the past 4 decades. We would not be the organization we are today without you. And thank you to all of our partners who we have collaborated with over the years to advance corrections, criminal justice reform, and the visibility of our jails on a national level. I also want to take this opportunity to recognize all the jail professionals joining us online today. You are the reason we do what we do. I have been impressed and humbled by your resiliency during the pandemic. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to making a positive impact in the communities that you serve. It's now my pleasure to introduce our president, AJA President Marcia Travis.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's been a long time. Before we begin our business meeting, we want to take a moment to remember those who are no longer with us due to the COVID pandemic. They've been our friends, our co-workers, and they've contributed immensely to the profession and their communities. We will never forget them. Thank you. The meeting of the members of the American Jail Association is hereby called to order. Mr. Secretary, is there a quorum present?
Madam President, we have a quorum.
Thank you. So in our first order of business, I would like to call on Director Daniels to give the treasurer's report.
Thank you, President Travis. I'm providing the treasurer's report on behalf of Treasurer Eddie Lance, who is in the meeting virtually, so he is on the Zoom link. So for fiscal year 2020, this most recent fiscal year for us, we had revenues of $594,176. That was down significantly from the previous year due to the fact that our conference in Colorado was canceled last year because of the pandemic. Our expenses, we also curtailed significantly. They came in at $1,370,205. Our total assets at the end of the year were $1,459,300. We did have a loss on our investments last year of $66,410. Our net assets at the end of the year, $73,715. Our auditors found no deficiencies in our internal controls, so we had a very clean audit this past year.
Thank you, Chris. In moving to the next order of business, the AJA Bylaws Committee has recommended to the Board of Directors and the membership a change in the bylaws. A copy of the proposed change and the proposed clarifications are noted in red on the online copy. I would ask for a motion from the membership to accept the bylaws change.
So moved.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Discussion? Okay. As there is no discussion, the motion's been made and seconded that sections 5.03, 7.02, and 7.05 be amended. Please vote yes or no please vote yes or no in the chat function online. Mr. Secretary, do we have the results?
Madam President, the motion is overwhelmingly approved.
Thank you. Over the last year of my presidency, AJA has been as productive and forward-thinking as it's ever been. As Chris mentioned earlier, AJA has worked tirelessly to be a voice for our profession. And one of the ways we do that is by meeting with members on Congress and Capitol Hill to have an impact on federal legislation that will affect local jails. So while those meetings didn't occur this year, we continue to maintain contact, and I've had the privilege of participating in those meetings in the past and know that we're making more of an impact than ever by our continued efforts. We're more connected with Congress and stakeholders in the criminal justice system, and that makes a difference in our local facilities. With its expertise and access to subject matter experts, AJA is the go-to for jail training, leadership development, and the professional certifications. As part of career development and elevating jail staff, AJA has a robust certification program. We offer 3 certifications: the Certified Jail Manager, Certified Jail Supervisor, and Certified Jail Officer. As of April 1st, we have 335 active CJMs, 18 active CJSs, remember that's our new program that launched recently, and 431 active CJOs. I wanted to take a moment to recognize Lisa Peck as the outgoing chair of the JMCC. Yesterday in a board meeting, we officially recognized her with a plaque and an award of her in appreciation for her dedication and hard work. Please give Lisa a round of applause. As part of the professional development program, AJA has launched regional and national jail leadership initiatives designed to develop those leadership skills among different managerial levels and the emerging leaders to equip them to become even better staff, managers, and leaders in our nation's jails. The most recognizable among them is the National Jail Leadership Command Academy. That's in collaboration with the Correctional Management Institute in Texas. So far, we've had 37 sessions in addition to 3 that were specialized for Indian Country jails, and there are now 1,428 graduates. NJLCA is one of AJA's most successful programs, and it's directly designed for the mid-level managers. So I want all the NJLCA grads out there to remember to wear your crimson shirts for the virtual reception that will be held, I believe it's Tuesday. In addition to NJLCA, we've created 5 regional leadership initiatives to serve jail professionals across the country. We have Virginia Association of Regional Jails Leadership Initiative, California Jail Command Academy, New Jersey Correctional Leadership Series, Southwest Florida Leadership Initiative, and the Rocky Mountain Jail Leadership Academy. Congratulations to all the graduates from all of our leadership initiatives for your hard work and dedication. So in addition to the jail leadership initiatives, webinars, and seminars we provide to members throughout the year, our biggest educational and networking event is the one that you're at right now, our annual conference, which would not be possible without the expertise and commitment of our conference planning committee, our presenters, our moderators. Their participation helps make this conference a high-quality training experience that you've come to expect. In many years, when we've been in person, they've often paid their own way and dedicated their time in development. This year, with the pivot, everyone spent additional time taping sessions and providing additional support. I do want to take a moment to recognize the conference planning chair, Darren Seeger, who dedicated countless hours. And yesterday as well, we presented him an award in appreciation of his dedication and support, because truly without Darren, without the presenters, the moderators, and everyone that's willing to give freely of their time, this truly would not be possible. Please give me a round of applause for them. So finally, on one last piece to recognize the efforts that have occurred, last year with not having the 2020 conference in Aurora, we didn't get the opportunity to recognize the 2020 award winners, who were just a phenomenal group of people truly deserving of recognition. So I want to take this opportunity to let you know we still have plans to officially recognize those achievements once larger gatherings are allowed and we can be together in person again. So that moves to my closing comments, and if you'll indulge me a little bit, I want to take a moment to reflect back. I remember the day that we were forced to make the decision to cancel what was slated to be an amazing conference in one of the most beautiful areas of the country out in Aurora, Colorado. This is one of the best conference sites we had ever selected. I was so excited. And to say that I was sick at the idea of canceling, that was an understatement. And, so I had to step back and I had to remember my roots. Okay? We're jail people. We hit crisis head on. We know how to deal with problems. Okay? We hit it head on and we get the job done. We don't get to sit back and whine. We don't get to stop our efforts. We still have people to take care of. We still have jobs to get done. And that, my friends, is exactly what we did. Okay, we scheduled a conference call because, just think a year ago we weren't as proficient on all this technology as we are today. Okay, Sheriff Elias Diggins called the meeting to order and he swore me in the conference call. My agency set up a video chat so they could attend. And that video clip, it's been viewed almost 4,000 times since then. Can you imagine the reach of 4,000 people all across the country? Now, my family might have been 3,900 of those, but that's another topic. So, many of you know me well. I like to be a trailblazer. I like to do things a little different sometimes. And I decided that since we were making history with the very first virtual swearing-in ceremony, I was going to make further history. And so I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. Okay? I was miffed about not getting to go to Colorado. Okay? I was not happy with being isolated from everyone. So in my own way, I decided to make my own history, and I'm here to tell you that I believe that I am the only president to ever have been sworn in wearing blue jeans and barefooted. Okay? I was, as they say, dressed up from the waist up. But I wanted to thumb my nose at COVID, so there, I did it. I even wore my ripped jeans. I didn't even wear the good ones. Okay? Just my way of putting the Marcia stamp of approval on it. Okay? But all of that aside, things got off to a slow start. Yeah, you know, you had to remember we had no sense of normal a year ago. We were in the middle of hiring a new executive director for the association in amidst all the other changes. The association spent some time treading water, and we were waiting for the world to figure out ways to interact differently. And we did too, okay? Zoom meetings, Google Meet, WebEx, all kinds of platforms and technologies started swirling around, and all of a sudden my inbox and my calendar started filling up. Okay? Everything was different. Okay? We had to delay some things. We postponed, I believe, one of the NJLCA classes. They've started back up. We were scheduled to start our Jail Executive Institute in August. We've postponed that now, but it'll be on the schedule of 2021, so we'll be back. Then we made a point of continuing to serve our members, even reaching out to our non-members. We created webinars. We offered them for free to everyone because we felt we needed to be the leaders in the time of turmoil. We needed to offer that guidance, and we did that. With this amazing crew here, the ones with me here, the ones on Zoom, the competent staff that we've got at headquarters, we continued to make the presence of the American Jail Association matter to the hardworking professionals in the facilities across the country. Okay? Early on, we made a stance on social justice, recognizing that inequities exist in the system. Okay? We were one of the first associations to stand and say that Black Lives Matter. I struggled with that initially, not the concept, but I wanted to steer clear of being hijacked by groups who tried to rally against law enforcement. I didn't want our organization to be a pawn in their game. I then looked at our membership. Okay? I looked at our board. Okay? And I looked at my friends. And I knew that we had to say something. Take a minute and look at your board of directors. I am most proud of the diversity of this group. I'm proud to say we have men, we have women, we have white, black, Hispanic representation. None of that is by accident. We strive to ensure that this board looks like you. It isn't always race. It isn't always gender. Maybe it's small jails, rural jails, geographic areas, or maybe it's ideology. But if there isn't someone on this board that you as a member can identify with in some form or fashion, it's time for you to get involved, and it's time for you to be that representation. That brings me to the presidential initiative of gender equity in jails across America. It was started by past President Elias Diggins, and I was honored when he asked me to be his chair, asked me to chair his initiative. We did a lot of work, yet when it came time to be my president, for me to be president, we weren't done, and I didn't want to let it go. So I put a new chair in place. Cornita Riley, who's retired from the Orange County Department of Correction and Rehabilitation in Florida, was selected. And if you've met Cornita, you know that she is a force. Now, if we were in person right now, this is where I'd call her up to give her an award of appreciation. But for right now, I can just tell you that I will brag on her efforts and talk about all the great things that have been accomplished. Okay, over the course of 2 years, we've impacted association policy. We've written resolutions. We've changed bylaws to ensure continued recognition of the issue. We've developed a comprehensive foundation for action. That plan will impact the workforce, justice-involved women, and the community. We've created mission and vision statements, and we're prepared to launch tangible deliverables in the coming years. The firm foundation for change has been laid. Okay. And I can't go any further without acknowledging the vital role in this partnership with the National Institute of Corrections. They've provided resources, guidance, support, and dedicated staff time, all to further the initiative and make it successful. None of this would be successful if there had not been support from the top. The top at NIC, Acting Director Shana Vanek, has made a point of being present and participating in meetings whenever her schedule allowed. She dedicated staff to assist us. And the hero on the staff at NIC is the Chief of the Jails Division, Stephen Amos. I want to take a moment to acknowledge his support and dedication. I also have an appreciation award that Chief Amos will receive for the support that far exceeds any that we could ever ask for. Chief Amos is never about recognition for himself, but Jails in America and the Gender Equity Initiative are better because of him. So thank you, Chief Amos, and we appreciate all that you do for us on an ongoing basis. But friends, we're not done. We're not done. We still have so much work to do. Here's an example of that, a statistic, okay? NJLCA, our flagship program, the one that has graduated 1,428 staff members, the one that we are so proud of. It's a phenomenal program. Only 27% of the graduates of that program are female. We must do better in the future. We need to figure out a way to break through those barriers that often cause young women to seek other careers. The challenge is still out there, and I need everyone in this audience to commit to change and to commit to gender equity. Now, at the peak of celebrating gender equity, I bring you a historic moment for the American Jail Association. I love that this year is just full of history. I am the 7th female president in the history of AJA. I'm about to swear in the 8th. Never in the 40-year history of AJA has a female president sworn in another female. So how's that for timing? So let's get to business. Okay. In my final duty as president, we will now begin the installation of the 2021-22 officers and board of directors. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce you to them, and I thank nominating committee chair Sheriff Elias Diggins, members Sean Laughlin, Luis Quinones, John Johnson, and Denise Diamond for their hard work. Please hold your applause while the new board of directors is introduced. Please stand as I call your name. President Amanda Lambert. President-elect Darren Seeger. First Vice President Luis A. Quinones Jr. Second Vice President Sean Laughlin. Third Vice President Robert Leslie Hood. Secretary Sam Davis. Joining us virtually is Treasurer Eddie Lance. The new 3-year members of the board of directors are Stephanie Bush, Kevin Jones, who's joined us virtually, Sean Klusnick, Lisa Peck. The new 2-year members of the board of directors are Denise Diamond, also joining us virtually, Mark Foxall, Melissa McClellan, virtual as well, and Anthony Yeaver. And finally, the new one-year members of the Board of Directors are Tiffany Mass, she's virtual as well, Jolie Schumpert, Jeffrey Baig, Daniel Engert, Chaplain Shane Dotson, Parliamentarian Mike Vidiello, and Sergeant-at-Arms Sonia Gillespie. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you your Board of Directors for the coming year. So we look forward to a productive and engaging year ahead with AJA and this dedicated board. Mandy Lambert, will you please come to the podium to be sworn in as president, and all others can be seated. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Mandy Lambert,
I, Mandy Lambert,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
and I do solemnly swear
and I do solemnly swear
to abide by the bylaws
to abide by the bylaws
of the American Jail
of
Association,
the American Jail Association,
and that I will,
and that I will,
at all times,
at all times,
perform the duties and responsibilities
perform the duties and responsibilities
of the office of President
of the office of President
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
By the authority invested in me by the American Jail Association Board of Directors, I hereby proclaim you duly installed in your new office. Mandy, congratulations, and I officially pass you the president's gavel, and I am your immediate past president. With that, I will now ask you to perform your first official function as the American Jail Association President by swearing in your Board of Directors.
Thank you, Marcia. But before we swear in the new board, I and all of AJA want to thank you for your dedication, your vision, your leadership, your expertise over one of the most trying, challenging years that AJA has ever been confronted with. We want to present you with the President's plaque and gavel to recognize your long-term dedication to AJA.
Thank you.
Board members, please rise. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear, state your name,
I, Marcia Travis, do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
and I do solemnly swear
and I do solemnly swear
to abide by the bylaws
to abide by the bylaws
of the American Jail Association,
of the American Jail Association,
and that I will at all times
and I will at all times
perform the duties and responsibilities
perform the duties and responsibilities
of the Office of Board of Directors
of the Office of Board of Directors
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
By the authority invested in me by the American Jail Association Board of Directors, I hereby proclaim you duly installed in your new offices. Thank you. You can please take your seats. So, 2020, wow. Tough times, very challenging, but we do what we do and we rose to the occasion. I could not be more honored to be standing before you as your president on one of the most amazing associations that exist in our country, the Voice of Local Corrections. I have a few thanks to make, right? Hopefully attending virtually are my mom and dad. I want to thank my mom and dad for teaching me that hard work pays off. I have 3 adult children at home that I raised in jail. They are successful, and they've taught me a lot. They've taught me a lot. They taught me patience. They taught me it was okay to keep moving forward, even though I might miss a soccer game, or I might miss a basketball game, or I might miss one of their award ceremonies. They were the most supportive children and loving that exist. To my husband, who has been a force, just keep going, Mandy. The rock of the rock. Thank you. To my colleagues back home in Virginia, you've been incredibly supportive. You have pushed me. You have challenged me, and I thank you for that. That is how we work. To my Prince William County people, those people have had me for 36 years. Wow. They're amazing. Jail people are amazing. We come with incredible traits. We come with incredible perseverance. We are kind when we need to be. We are tough when we need to be. You can't do any of that without mentors, right? I've had some of the most amazing mentors over my career. None of us would be here without mentors. They guide you. They teach you. One of my biggest mentors in my career, who is still with me today, is Sheriff Glenn Hill back at Prince William County. In the 80s, when I started in the industry, that was an era of shut the door, lock the door, move on. My career spans over 5 decades. Things have changed a lot since the mid-'80s. I was 19 years old when I took the oath of office. It's been a long time, but a lot of things have changed. What has not changed with my mentor is treat people with dignity and respect, always. Be a trailblazer. Treat people with dignity, humanity. Treat people like you would want to be treated. But the most telling piece of those mentors is it's always family first, which is a tough balance in an industry that is so demanding. Over the course of this past year, it has been the most challenging that I've confronted in my career, and I would imagine those of you that are watching and here in this room would agree. I don't want to talk about the negatives. We have enough negatives going on. I want to talk about what this past year has taught us about one another. My observations is that it taught us that we are fierce. We are fearless. And if we are fearful, we don't show it. We are loyal. We are dedicated. We have the largest capacity for tenacity that exists in any industry. People that work in this industry, in the field of corrections, pretty special people. I've had the incredible opportunity that I am so very humbled by to travel across the country, delivering curriculum, meeting new people. Jail people have traits and characteristics and ideas and minds that unless you have boots on the ground, you'll never understand. We share a lot of common. And as immediate past President Travis said earlier, if you can't find somebody that you can connect with on this board, you need to be on this board. We encourage you to get involved in the American Jail Association. You know, we wear many different hats. We take the oath. We look at our job duties and our job descriptions. No one ever knows that you're going to be a counselor, that you're going to be a social worker, that you're going to be an emergency responder or a firefighter. You're going to be leaders and commanders and investigators. It's a lot of hats to wear. Approximately 740,000 people are held in America's jails. Every year, approximately 10 million people are booked into our local jail system. In 2019, there were approximately 184,000 local jail officers. Those staff tasked with care, custody, control. Staff exposure in the workplace to violence and assaults is 36 times higher than that rate of all workers in America. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and it pushes us to my president's initiative, which is health and wellness of our workforce. We've noticed over years as jail administrators, as leaders, as managers, that we cannot retain good qualified staff that can do the job. They come in, they're like, this is not for me, and they go out. And it's at a rate that is almost getting to crisis mode. On top of COVID, we deal with stress and vicarious trauma daily. And I would venture to say that in a crisis in your facility, that we write our reports and we move on, and we go back to supervising the inmate population, and we don't wear our emotions on our sleeve. It's causing crisis in our industry. So we've got to address that. You know, I told you that my career spanned over 5 decades. It's not something that we talk about. I vividly remember 19 years old. I was a bit of a rebel when I started in the industry, being called in because I did something wrong, and the major yelling at me, and I started crying. He said, don't ever do that again. Do not ever cry. Do not ever show your emotions. I've never forgotten that. And I haven't. I had a major incident in my family life that caused me a lot of stress this past year. I cried. I cried. For just a couple minutes, but I cried. And I remember my children and my husband saying to me, I've never seen you cry before. That's not normal. And we've got to talk about it, and we've got to be aware of it, and we've got to get education to our crews, those people that support our daily operations day in and day out. I am so fortunate to be given this platform to embrace all of you in the industry. Those out there on Zoom, I want you to know that my commitment to you is it's okay not to be okay, and we're going to talk about this. I'm fortunate to have Sonia Gillespie as my champion that will be trailblazing this initiative. I'm more fortunate that President-elect Darren Seeger has agreed to take it on in his presidency. It's critical. I vow to you, as your president, that we will have tough conversations, that we will develop peer networking at the national level, that we will champion this cause because it affects every single one of us. Not a race, not a gender, not an ideology. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It affects us. So we need to have those conversations. We need to talk about stress in the workplace and what we can do to better understand how it directly affects our industry and what we can do to ensure that the people that don't work behind those walls understand the trials and tribulations that are confronted with us every day. I vow to you that as your president, that my email and phone number will be posted, that should you want to be involved in this initiative, that should you have a story to tell, that should you want to be a trailblazer and a champion with Sonia, that you're invited. I think it's that important. In closing, I want to thank my boss back home for understanding how important family is in this industry. This is a day at my workplace. Hey, Colonel, got something to do. Family thing. Mandy, do what you got to do. Every single time. It has made this past year and my 36 years of being a mother, being a wife, raising a family, that much easier. I am indebted to many people that it would take me for an hour to list everybody that means so much to me. I look to you all this next year to really rally the cause, to be my support, each other's support. We've got a lot of work to do. There's no doubt about it. I see all of your faces. I'm sorry I can't see those of you on Zoom, but those that are looking back at me, we know. We know. So moving forward, and in closing, I want to leave you with this. Embrace obstacles to build the resilience that's required to live a purpose-driven life. Be happy, smile a lot, be kind, be available, be approachable. I want to thank all of you all on Zoom for joining. This has been a heavy lift for all of us. I'm fortunate to have an opportunity to be surrounded by the people that are the most loyal, dedicated group of people in our industry. Marcia did not have that chance. We're going to make it up to her somehow, some way. So I want to thank you all for attending via Zoom and in person, those of you that made the trip to beautiful Baltimore, Maryland. I want to thank our staff at headquarters, our American Jail staff at headquarters, for their tireless work to make this all happen. Thank you for your leadership, Chris. You had a heavy lift coming in as our new executive director, but you got it done. So, it's my honor to serve as your president. I would like to thank all of you all for attending this business meeting. We need to find out if there is any further matters. I will look to Kim and Sam.
We have nothing, Madam President.
Okay. There is no new business, no unfinished business, then I will consider this business meeting closed. It's now adjourned, and I would ask Leslie Hood, our chaplain Dotson is on Zoom, So Leslie Hood, our third vice president, has agreed to give the invocation. Leslie, will you come on up? Thank you.
If everyone would, please bow your head. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you on this day and we thank you for bringing us all to this business meeting safely. Lord, we ask that you'll be with each and every family member and co-worker that has lost someone due to COVID-19 this year during the pandemic. Lord, as we move forward, we ask that you give us your guidance, your strength, and your wisdom to carry out our daily activities and move the American Jail Association organization further. Lord, it is your will that the Board of Directors acts on behalf of the 3,000 plus members. So be with us each day as we make decisions that will affect this organization. Thank you and amen.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you all for your attention. We hope that you enjoy our virtual conference. We hope to have further discussions. Most of the board members will be available in a chat somewhere on the virtual end of things, so please reach out to us. We want to be available to you, and we certainly are approachable. I hope you all enjoy our conference, and thank you for joining us.